Namaskar and Bhim Palasi. Welcome to all our viewers. Here with us is Shekhar Iyer as we take stock of what happened in the bypolls that recently concluded in various states and the impact of that on the India alliance as well as the BJP alliance, as well as there are tremors now becoming bigger and bigger in the India alliance. For example, Mamata Banerjee was not supposed to go to the Ambani wedding, but she decided to go anyway at the end because she said that every member of the family called her. So make what of it as you please. So let's welcome Shekhar Ayerji. Shekharji, namaskar, Ram Ram. How are you, sir?
Namaskar, Sherji, Ram Ram. I'm good, and today is the bipoll results day, sir. Politics is all about optics, and that's what we are seeing in this bipoll results. Because television channels have been running through the day that it is a setback for BJP because the India alliance has won 10 of the 13 seats that were up for grabs, and they are making out as if all the parties of this alliance, the India alliance were contested these bipolls, and these bipolls were caused by vacancies prior to the Lok Sabha elections. There are going to be bipolls caused by the Lok Sabha elections because many members of the legislative assemblies contested Lok Sabha seats and gave up the their assembly seats. That is going to happen later. I think in Uttar Pradesh you have got seven seats like that, nine seats which have become vacant because of the MLAs have either become MPs or one MLA has been disqualified. So, but today what the headlines is, saying that it's a big boost for India Alliance, that it's a big setback for BJP just after the Lok Sabha elections. But as they say, the devil is in the details. Actually, out of these 13 seats, 9 seats were never with the BJP. So, India alliance, if we put all together, because there was no alliance in Bengal where Mamata has won 3 of the 4 seats that went to bypolls. Yes, and those 3 seats are gained because they were with the BJP earlier. And and similarly in say in Himachal Pradesh, it's a setback because for the BJP, Himachal CM Sukhwinder Sukhu put up his own wife as a candidate for one of the seats, which became vacant because a Congress rebel resigned his seat to join hands with BJP, which was a major threat for him. If you remember a few months ago, so there he fielded his own wife and they won the seat back. And Kamlesh, his wife, contested as a Congress nominee, and that the chief minister campaigned for his wife, and then that was such a election. And but in Uttarakhand is actually alarm bell should ring because there were 2 seats, and 2 seats that the Congress has won, and one seat is Badrinath seat. That should cause some worry for. Of course, in Punjab, Jalandhar West, there was a seat which was won by AAP. I mean, it was earlier with AAP, it was won by AAP. And coming to Tamil Nadu, you had the Vikrapandi election, and where you saw was it was between DMK and PMK because ADMK did not contest election, and then you had the Nam Tamil Katchi, which was the third, but it lost even deposit. But about the by-election, Tamil Nadu is all about resources that the DMK employed. It fielded many of its ministers. And today, PMK leader Anbumali Ramdas, son, Dr. Anbumali Ramdas himself held a press conference saying that the DMK spent 250 crores.
And 250 crores?
Yes, this is the allegation he has made.
You got to be kidding me.
For a by-election. And he's
sir, they have a money plant, sir. Sir, they have a money plant. They have a money plant. I'd like to get that money plant.
No, this is Anbumali. No, Anbumali Ramdas, he held a press conference soon after the election saying that the election officials turned a blind eye, and he even said how much they spent for each vote. Almost 10,000 rupees, 6,000 by way of cash and 4,000 by way of kind. The kite could include a quarter peg or a half peg also. So, so one can imagine the kind of resources that were deployed. Now, the counter this the DMK buzz was that PMK had collected money from BJP, ADMK, from everybody, but did not spend the money. That's why they lost the elections. But whatever it is, that's but in Madhya Pradesh, BJP managed to show that it still retains control because one assembly segment under Chinchwada fell vacant and it was won by BJP. So, but what we are seeing is Congress leaders are overjoyed by these by-election results, as if they needed something now to show that with Rahul Gandhi emerging as the leader of the opposition, and there is a new emergent Congress, the opposition is going to push BJP out of power, and the days are numbered for Prime Minister Modi. This is the kind of narrative that they have been saying it for for a long time. I can see, sir, after you mentioned money plant, everybody want to keep a money plant in their homes. So,
Yes, sir.
so you can see that how this whole bipole results have become a kind of a analysis, because I'm seeing even Tamil channels, I mean, who are known for their pro DMK line. And even Stalin made it a point to say this is not just about one by election, Tamil Nadu. All over the country, 13 bypolls, India Alliance has won. Now, there was no India Alliance as such in this election. Where was India Alliance in Bengal? Mamata contested on her own. But what they have done is they are adding up wherever they have won, and then they are saying, look, this is all total is India Alliance. And India alliances. But yes, in terms of optics, this is not great news for BJP because, as I mentioned, there are alarm bells ringing in Uttarakhand where they had won the assembly elections in 2022. And here, even a seat like Badri has gone, and also one more seat has been a Mangalore seat, which has been won by one Qazi Nizamuddin of the Congress by 422 votes. Very, very narrow margin. If an assembly seat is won by 422 votes, you can imagine if there was a recount, things could be even be different. So, and in Bihar, again another BJP ally, Janata Dal United, lost that seat because an independent won. So overall, what you are seeing is that this is, as I mentioned earlier, this was not all the seats were not held by BJP that they lost, but yes, in some of the states where they were ruling, they have lost some seats. So of course, when the by-elections are held for the seats vacated by the seats that are vacated by the sitting MLAs because they won Lok Sabha. When by-elections are held there, it would be very interesting to watch what is the outcome. Now here we are seeing our editor Sachin is putting on the screen the various by-election results that are showing who has won where, and so therefore there is a lot of buzz today, and one saw Stalin himself distributing sweets following the Vikramandi bipole results, and and so the BJP just secured two seats, one in the Chindwara in Madhya Pradesh, showing that they still in Madhya Pradesh still remains their strong ground, and another is Himachal Pradesh, where one seat, Amirpur, for which Anurag Thakur had campaigned. So that seat has been won. Otherwise, overall, the picture is such, though a lot of hype was built around these by-elections, that these are a test of Prime Minister Modi's popularity and things like that. But I don't think this is something that is to be seen in this way. Rather, the real test will be the coming assembly elections. But yesterday, the MLC election in Maharashtra, that was very interesting, where everybody expected the Ajit Pawar's party to have a meltdown. They expected their MLAs, that Ajit Pawar's MLAs would cross vote and Sharad Pawar's candidate would win. But what happened was BJP got all its people in. Your Eknath Shinde's party got the two people in, and what we saw was even in Sharad, and ultimately, the Ajit Pawar's party did not see any cross voting. It's 7 or 8 Congress MLAs cross voted. So, in the first of a major showdown between Mahavikas Aghadi and Mahayuti, Mahayuti managed to keep its folks together. Because all along we have been hearing that some of the MLAs of Ajit Pawar want to return Sharad Pawar. But that did not happen. And Sharad Pawar had backed a peasant workers' party candidate, Jayant Patil, but he lost the election. But important message that is coming is, I think after the Maharashtra Lok Sabha results, where the Mahayukti did not do as well as the Mahavikas Aghadi, all the three partners, whether it is Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena, or it is Bharatiya Janata Party, or Ajit Pawar's NCP, they all have decided to work together, because a few days ago there was a meeting where all the leaders were present, and Devendra Fadnavis was quoted as saying, or rather telling all the leaders, that this election is one where we have to fight together. All will have to make sacrifices, because Maharashtra has got 288 assembly seats. That's a very big number. It's a very big state. There are various regions, and you can be sure if there are 288 seats, there must be 3,000 aspirants for each of these seats. Because and all those aspirants in Maharashtra are people who have got resources, who are into realty business or something, and they have been with their respective parties for a long time, and they feel this is the time the party has to honor them with a ticket. So you can see a big problem of on everybody's hands, all the parties. Whether it is all the 6 parties will face problems of rebels, will face problems of ticket distribution. So Maharashtra is a very interesting election to watch, and that will rather decide what is the course of this alliance. And already we have discussed how Sharad Pawar is not willing to project Uddhav Thackeray as the CM candidate of this Mahavikas Aghadi. Even Congress is not very enthusiastic about projecting Uddhav Thackeray as a CM candidate for the assembly elections. Because, okay, they backed Uddhav Thackeray as CM and they managed it for some time, but then the government collapsed because of first split in the Shiv Sena, and after that, you saw a split in the NCP also. Haryana and Jharkhand are presenting a very big challenge, because in both the states, BJP seems to have lost some tribal votes in Jharkhand, and in Haryana, it is the same combination. It is a dominant party which is heavily dependent on Jats, like the Congress party versus the non-Jats. And BJP has been working on this line, Jat versus non-Jat, though they also need some Jat leaders to push their case. Now, these are the elections that could really be taken as a test how things are moving forward. But to assume that these by-elections are themselves, a big setback for Modi, yes, in terms of optics, it looks, because channels tend to make those headlines. Out of 13, India alliance has won 10. But there is no India alliance as such in these elections, or even in Lok Sabha. We didn't see an alliance in Bengal. Now, this is one thing, sir, that is very important. And the other thing is, I think what is happening is, uh, before I move on, Shekhar, perhaps you would like to add some uh, comments to this bipole scene.
Thank you so much, sir. Bipoles are almost always going in the direction of the party that is in power. So let us take a look at it from that lens. I think Uttarakhand is a concern, because there the BJP is in power and they had a fairly convincing victory, and one loss of 400 votes. That screams to me that it was carefully managed in terms of like population distribution and things like that. Also, the one of the things that I think that needs to have been done, and I haven't seen any action in that, which is, what has the election commission done to crack down on booth level officers? This has been observed across India, that the booth level officers appear to have some political bias. You cannot have that. And that I don't know. I'm still waiting to see what happened. So Uttarakhand definitely is an area for concern. DMK, if it is indeed true that they spent what 10,000 per person, uh, that means then that the ED raids are not enough. That somehow money plants appear to be growing all the time. Either that, or so there is also another interesting development. I did a monologue that was well received, which is 108. Look at the numbers, sir. 108. 1 kilo gold biscuits were caught smuggling in from Ladakh. You know as well as I do, Sekharji, if one is caught, that means 10 have already made it through. So funding is coming in various ways. So this is something that should be a cause of concern. It's no longer just money. Again, Bitcoin is another way you can do it. Because remember, viewers, this is something that you should always remember in the back of your mind. Half the reason for the Bitcoin's value to be so high is because the counterparty, it is believed, in more than 50% of the transactions is someone from China, which means somebody is making sure that the value of the Bitcoin is being propped up. But what is the big thing about Bitcoin? It's anonymity. You can give a series of numbers from X to Y, and Y will be able to use that to encash it into hard cash. Clearly, there are Hawala agents in India who can take a Bitcoin and give you cash. I don't know if the Indian government is looking at this angle. The thing about this, Shekharji, is one Bitcoin is around $30,000. Multiply that by 8 to give you the number in crores, 2.4 crores. Right now, they are battling thousands of crores worth corruption. I mean, Financial Investigation Unit or ED or whatever. So these are all isolated things here and there happening. So I don't know how well they are checking it. But the concern, I think, is definitely in Uttarakhand. Over to you, sir.
Definitely, sir. The role of money power. In fact, the Lok Sabha elections, election commission said it was the largest cash seizures they have had, almost amounting to 4,000 crores.
Yes, yes,
I mean,
yes.
this looks like some small states' annual budget.
Right.
Very small states. I mean, this is the kind of money. And sir, for Stalin in particular, this by-election was a very key by-election. And Anbumani made another charge, sir. Anbumani Ramadas. He said, look, ADMK did not contest the elections. And this time the ADMK votes, many of the ADMK votes shifted to DMK in this by-election. And Anbumani Ramadas said that is because of this lure of money power. Otherwise, it was, and Anbumani made it a point in a way trying to tell Edapadi, because at one time Edapadi was desperately wooing Patali Makkal Kachi before the Lok Sabha elections. But PMK chose to be with the BJP. So today Anbumani Ramdas said that there was a time when Jayalalitha was, ruling supreme. An ADMK voter will not vote for DMK because he found it as some kind of a personal commitment that he cannot support DMK. Because DMK, after all, MGR broke away from DMK to form ADMK. So he was committed to the leadership of MGR, then Jayalalitha. And since Jayalalitha is opposed to DMK, an ADMK voter cannot shift to DMK. He cannot give a vote. But today that is not so. With almost a defunct ADMK, and all that Edapadi is happy about is, that he has got the party with him and the two-leaf symbol. And this decision not to contest elections, because this can be interpreted two ways. He wanted his voters to help DMK rather than, a NDA ally like PMK winning the seat, because that will give a boost to BJP. This could be interpreted this way also. So what Anbumani was saying was the fact that ADMK has not been able to hold on to its vote. That is why this vote went. But more than that, it is a fact that they have spent so much of money. Ministers were camping there. And today, as soon as the results came, Stalin himself was distributing sweets. And then he let out a video message saying that this Vikramandi by-election poll is an indication that Tamil Nadu people want DMK to be in power. They are reposing faith in DMK. So you can see that, and then he also made it a point to say that look, this is part of what is happening. All over people are rejecting Modi and BJP, etc., etc. But as you said, sir, wherever in any by-elections, assembly by-elections in particular, the ruling party, whichever party is in ruling in that particular state, they ensure that their candidate wins the election, not the opposition. Because any victory for the opposition would be a destabilizing factor. But Himachal and Uttarakhand are worrying because in Uttarakhand you had, you have uh, Dhami as chief minister there, and the fact that they lost in two places, including the seat of Badrinath, that's a very concerned thing, because now Rahul Gandhi has been going around saying that BJP lost in Ayodhya, BJP lost in Ayodhya. Rather, BJP lost the Faizabad seat, under which Ayodhya falls. But Ayodhya assembly segment, the vote was BJP's vote was higher than any other party. But he has been saying it is he lost in Ayodhya, BJP lost in Ayodhya. Now, so when we look at these by-elections, that definitely there is an optical problem. I mean, now in terms of optics, because for the BJP, they have to get back to their drawing board and see how they can recoup and recover whatever setback they have had in the Lok Sabha elections. Now, how they are going to do it, what they are going to do, is something perhaps we'll get to know as the days progress. But right now, I think many of the leaders are shell shocked. And Uttar Pradesh is a very key state where they have lost so many seats. And Yogi Adityanath has been cracking his whip on many officials. In fact, he has replaced some of his key aides, and now he has managed to get his own people. Because after all, after these results, he had a chance to meet the Prime Minister and have a one-on-one, and where he managed to tell everything that went wrong with the Lok Sabha elections, from selection of candidates to way the ground preparations were handled. So that is one thing. But overall, well, by-elections keep happening. Perhaps the next round of by-elections will, but more than the by-elections, I think it is the assembly elections that are going to be a big pointer, sir.
Shekharji, I'm hearing a lot of things, and I don't know because I don't have any proof for this. What I've also heard is that one of the top leaderships from the BJP was summoned to Nagpur. The said person hasn't gone there in many years. That tells you something, and was made to stay for 48 hours there. Something was told, something was heard. That's why I'm choosing my words carefully. Something was told, something was heard. When you hear something, it has the danger of coming from this ear and going out this way. We have to see how much was listened to. It will tell in the days and weeks to come. Somewhere, Shekharji, I have a feeling that BJP has some astra that they think will essentially right the ship, and they are waiting for that at the right moment. It's very unfortunate. I put a short of 1 minute long, 45 seconds as a matter of fact, about reopening this case on Sushant Singh Rajput. The new alliance has been there for close to 18 months, sir. 18 months, 20 months now, right? So if they wanted, they could have solved this problem before Lok Sabha. So why wait for it until the state elections to again start working on it or trying to rake it up? Doesn't this family deserve justice? Don't the followers of Sushant Singh Rajput need closure? Very, very sad, Shekharji, that this is what politics has transcended to. So next, let's go to the next topic. Viewers, I just feel bad. I just feel bad. That's all I can say. That if you're lucky, you'll be alive. That's how it seems to be. New challenge to Rahul Gandhi. This is again this Mamata thing. Sir, even when she won convincingly 32 seats in the Lok Sabha election, one of the first press conferences she said was that I have not yet heard from Rahul Gandhi. No greetings from Rahul Gandhi. Did you see that thing? And she was quite pissed at that time. What is going on between these two? And sir, honest opinion from your viewpoint. Tol mol ke hisab se. You have to put the right things here.
Sir, first things first. It's not something that has just happened after the Lok Sabha election. Mamata, like a lot of other people, cannot stand Rahul Gandhi, whether his antics or his utterances, and also the fact that now he is actually wants to grab all attention. And he has taken his leader of the opposition post very seriously. And suddenly he has begun to see merits in holding up to a post like LOP, which has a cabinet status and which gives you a lot of heft in terms of taking on the government, and and you can have people look at you as some kind of a shadow prime minister in a parliamentary system. But that has not been appreciated by Mamata. Mamata had also earlier objected to this speaker's election, where unilaterally Kodakudil Suresh was announced as the Congress candidate. Then somehow Rahul Gandhi tried to pacify her by calling her up and saying, they did it in a hurry and these things won't happen. We will do everything as India Alliance and things like that. But the fact remains, what she has noticed is ever since he has become LOP, he is all over the place. He's going everywhere. He's projecting as if the Congress has revived on its own and it is all set to demolish every other party. And then it is a hogging the limelight. So she went to attend the Mumbai bash of Ambani's son's wedding. And using that opportunity, she has spoken to Uddhav Thackeray, she has spoken to Sharad Pawar, and saying that what's going on. After all, Congress was helped by all of us. But why is Rahul Gandhi acting as if it is something Congress has achieved on its own? Just because their numbers went up from 52 to 99? And she also spoke to Akhilesh Yadav, saying that why did you allow Rahul to visit Hathras? You have helped Congress win so many seats. So why should you allow that space to Rahul? Because Rahul thinks he is the leader of the entire opposition, which is something Mamata is not willing to accept. So she has been saying that, and she also says, look, we also have young people, people who are younger than Rahul Gandhi. And she mentioned even own her nephew, Abhishek Banerjee, who is a Lok Sabha member from Diamond Harbour. And she says these leaders must get more prominence. Why is Rahul Gandhi getting so much prominence? And what is also irking her is the fact that a section of the media has now started trumpeting for Rahul. Questions are being asked, debates are being organized, articles are being written to show that brand Modi has now evolved. He is no more that Papu. He is that very caring person. He is very humane. The way he interacts with Aam Janta, you can see that built up the write-ups which are appearing now in a more regularity. And they have roped in some foreign media personnel too in this game to build up. That is why, sir, 2 days when everybody believes Rahul Gandhi had gone abroad, last 2 days, and nobody knows where he went. Last 2 days when he had gone abroad, Rahul Gandhi's tweet created a lot of whispers. That tweet asked his followers, asked Congress leaders in particular, not to be so unkind to Smriti Irani because she has lost elections in Amethi. Rather, we should be kind to her. Whether it's a tongue-in-cheek comment, I do not know. But this was also picked up by the people who are out to create a brand Rahul, saying that look how humane he is, how kind he wants to be. It's another story that it is the Congress trolls that went after Smriti Irani. They said all kinds of nasty things about her. And many handles which are known to be very pro-Congress, they are the ones who were trying to tear Smriti Irani to pieces, her image in particular. So now Rahul's message is that message to his cadres and to people not to be harsh with Smriti Irani because in life, I mean, quote unquote, in life, victories and defeats happen. So if Smriti Irani has lost in Amethi, let's not a big deal. Let's be kind to her. Now, people are questioning why is Rahul Gandhi giving this signal? Because after all, the kind of criticism that is unleashed by the troll army on behalf of the Congress, whether it is for Prime Minister or for Amit Shah or for BJP or anybody in the NDA, they are ruthless. Things are picked up out of context and they just go slam, slam, slam and try to get traction as far as possible. So, if that is a purpose, so what is Rahul trying to show? That he can, he can be sound and fury against Prime Minister Modi, but if necessary, he can also ask his people to be nice to an opposition leader like Smriti Irani. Now, this is a tactics he is employing, and you can see how there is a very serious and concerted effort to show that Rahul has arrived. His becoming leader of the opposition itself is a very big elevation. And they are not getting into the fact that Congress has lost third time the elections. A party is supposed to win and come to power, not just increase its numbers. But nobody wants to get into all that. All that they're saying from 52 to 99, Modi ji lost his numbers. Modi ji could not get his own majority. BJP could not cross 272. That means Rahul has won. So I can see a narrative happening already, sir, and this narrative is what is going to cause problem between Congress and its allies. Because leaders like Mamata Banerjee, they always fear one thing. Since their major chunk of their support comes from the minorities, and her worry is if BJP is growing, it will grow at her party's cost or at the cost of other parties who are equally dependent on this minority vote, whether it is Akhilesh Yadav or Sharad Pawar or whoever. Because the Muslim vote is very serious vote because they always tend to vote a party which they think is very capable of defeating the BJP, either in the state elections or in the Lok Sabha elections. At this time, it has happened. So, Congress managed to win a number of minority votes, rather Muslim votes. So, Mamata is asking, Mamata told these leaders when she was in Mumbai that you will have to wake up because this Rahul is now going Bisak. He's projecting himself as if we don't matter, whereas it is the other parties that have helped Congress win in Uttar Pradesh and other states. So why should we not take the credit ourselves? Why should not our leaders also get a chance? So this is a very big turning point, sir, which goes to show that more the Rahul asserts his position and projects himself as the leader who has arrived, his allies are going to get more and more nervous of his behavior, wondering what is going to happen to them. Sir.
Thank you so much, Shekharji. These are some of the pictures of Rahul Gandhi in India today, which is a bhakt, serious level bhakt. Keep going, keep going. You know, there was a time I used to think India Today was the only magazine worth reading when it started out, sir. Oh boy.
Sir, if you see from this graphics, they had a cover story on him every year almost.
Yes, yes, yes.
Till 2019. Then they realized this, after that Chaukidar Chorai wala bombed, they realized that you can't bet on him too much. But again, now it has again started again. I mean, you can see that how they are again the effort, but it's a very concerted effort. You can see that. You can see it on TV debates and where the ruling party can influence channels coverage. I can see that the same trend is there. People are trying to show that he's doing well, and some big columnists are writing pieces about Rahul.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. I want to request you to translate one Tamil phrase for me, for our viewers, in Hindi and English, if possible. Sir, Rahul thinks that these regional satraps are just regional satraps. They can't go beyond that. So the way he thinks, and this is his mind voice that I'm trying to reflect, உயர உயர பறந்தாலும் ஊர் குருவிதான். Please decode this for our English speaking audience as well as for Hindi, sir.
Well, first in English, no matter how high the domestic sparrow flies, it will remain a domestic sparrow. It cannot be a soaring eagle. मतलब जो चिड़िया है जितना ऊंच मतलब जितना ऊपर मतलब जितना ऊंच जाए लेकिन चिड़िया चिड़िया ही है. वो कोई वो नहीं है कि वो बस ईगल नहीं है. Basically saying, look, it's like a balloon, you keep on blowing, it grows big in size, but there is a point even in the elasticity of the balloon where it can no longer take any more air, then it bursts. But if you say that one day Rahul Gandhi will burst, people will say this is most politically incorrect statement because he is seen as the person who has arrived. He is seen as a man of the moment. If many people, if they had that man of the year kind of thing, they would, I mean, if a man of the year were to be announced now, or person of the year now, they would say it's Rahul Gandhi. Now, why? Because he managed to take his party from 52 Lok Sabha seats to 99 Lok Sabha seats. That's why, sir, Prime Minister in that debate we saw in Lok Sabha, he made particularly to answer this question. भाई इतना आप अपने आप को कांग्रेस अपने आप को चढ़ा रहा है. Congress is trying to, hoist itself to a high ground. But fact is, you have won. This is the third Lok Sabha elections you have lost. You might have increased the number, but aren't you supposed to come to power by winning elections, not just increase number? And the Congress is more happy by BJP का घट गया. बीजेपी का मेजॉरिटी मार्क्स से कम हुआ. भाई आपको क्या मिला? But there is, sir, along with this elation feeling, there is also a sign of desperation in the Congress ranks because they realize that things are back to the same. I mean, it appeared that BJP's growth story has been halted, or I mean, they didn't. If they had won, say, more than 300 seats, would have meant more stronger, more muscular BJP. What would have happened to the opposition? That has not happened. But overall, if you see, the government is back in power. Modi is back as prime minister. There are no major policy changes. Nothing is going to change. Things are moving as they were moving earlier. And some of the things that are happening, like for instance, Modi's first visit to the U.S. To
Russia.
Russia, and his talks with Putin, and the kind of eyeball attention it got world over. So somebody thought of, sir, which is actually my third topic, with Modi getting so much of attention with his meeting Putin, though some said it was bad optics because in Ukraine you had a missile attack which damaged a children's hospital. Many children were seen killed or had seriously wounded or injured, and that this is and even President Zelensky of Ukraine reacted. Why is the prime minister of a world largest democracy hugging a criminal? But sir, I can tell you, yesterday we saw a big mischief being played on everybody to show that how, as part of this brand Modi that's happening, they spread the story. It came mostly from pro-Congress handles on the social media, saying that U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris had a chat with Rahul Gandhi. Incidentally, last 2 days, people feel that Rahul Gandhi has gone abroad. He has taken a break before the parliament session begins from July the 22nd. And nobody knows where he has gone. But they say that all the story about Kamala Harris speaking to Rahul Gandhi, and the various versions were circulated. One, Rahul Gandhi was being congratulated for becoming leader of the opposition. And they also look at this very important factor for the US presidential election and whether Kamala Harris would ultimately replace Joe Biden. Though Joe Biden himself doesn't think she's a great running mate, let alone replace him. Now, the whole thing is this image building we were talking about. And then finally the balloon bursts. We just talked about the example of balloon. Air, you keep on pushing in air because an Indian correspondent based in Washington decided to call up the office of the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and he was told no such call was made. Kamala Harris has not spoken to anyone, any in India, particularly to Rahul Gandhi. But interestingly, the so-called Kamala Harris Rahul Gandhi conversation was not tweeted by the Congress handles. It was tweeted by handles that are seen close to Congress. So at least for 24 to 48 hours, you had this bus going, Kamala Harris has spoken. Now, for Aam Janata in India, it doesn't matter Kamala Harris spoke to him or not. Nobody is bothered. But it was made out as if that, Sachin, our editor, is showing us a lot of tweets and handles, making a big deal about it. But the fact is that Kamala office said, no, this has not happened at all. Sir, ahead of U.S. presidential election, why would Kamala Harris think of all people calling up Rahul Gandhi?
So there is a, there is a feeling amongst Indians. We still suffer from this complex. It is that if our own person says we are good, we are not willing to accept that. But if somebody outside, especially a Westerner, says it, and if that Westerner happens to be Caucasian, that's even more impactful. Then it say, oh yes, this is right. उन्होंने कह दिया. अरे नहीं यार. We have to know what we are. Don't look at others to understand what you are. Gauge yourself. This internal belief about ourselves. That's one of the biggest takeaways of the 10 years of Modi government. I have so many things that I say that he has not done, but he put that Indian, be a proud Indian, that he has done, not only in his speeches, but also in action. The whole world was reeling from COVID. It's not like India had thousands of vaccines going around, but the gesture that I have a little bit, I'll give it to you. The world's most powerful country didn't want to do that. That's the takeaway. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, especially to the Muslim brothers and sisters, also the Christian brothers and sisters. Take a step back. Why do you hate Modi so much? Give me a list of 10 items. I mean, all of your comments, guys, I'm opening it out. Give me 10 reasons why you hate Modi, okay? As comments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? And we will collate that. And then we will give you the reply for that. But one condition. After you read the replies, you have to say, I am convinced that what I thought was not right. Otherwise, this whole exercise will be pointless. Just saying. Sir, let's take a few questions if you don't mind.
Certainly, sir.
Chaitanya Takle wants to know why there isn't a law where the parliament votes of MLA MPs of a party will depend on their party leader in the house. It will eliminate cross voting.
So, well, there is an anti-defection law. See, there is already a law that if there is a whip is issued or if there is a direction, but then, sir, you cannot have a whip for elections like this, like in Rajya Sabha election. The Rajya Sabha election, there is no whip that the members of parliament or MLAs, a party cannot issue a whip. But an amendment was made, a party can officially supervise whom their MLAs and MPs are voting. So it's not so a secret ballot. Because then the party can act against that person. So that provision is there under the anti-defection law. But then, no matter what law you bring in, the MLAs and MPs, particularly if they see an impending change, or if they want to signal their displeasure to their party leadership, they do cross voting. So, cross voting is not an easy thing to eliminate, and particularly in many cases, we know, in particular in Rajya Sabha elections, when the moneyed ones contest, they always use their resources to get the votes. Sir, take for instance Abhishek Manu Singhvi. He's a leading lawyer. He is one of the most expensive lawyers in town, in Delhi. And he is now hired by, he is handling the cases of Arvind Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, so many people. But he has one quaish that he wishes to continue in Rajya Sabha. He lost Rajya Sabha elections in Uttarakhand. And now what has happened is the Congress wants to oblige Abhishek Banu Singhvi. They have got, now they have launched an operation which, sir, this is also a point. When the BJP used to get people to resign their seat or join them, it used to be called Operation Lotus by Congress and others. Now, same thing is happening in Telangana. A number of Congress MLAs, MLCs are joining. They are joining Congress. Now it is said Abhishek Banu Singhi will because Keshav Rao has resigned as a Rajya Sabha member of BRS, and he has joined Congress and he has been given a cabinet status. So that seat has fallen vacant, and Abhishek Banu Singhi will get it. So the whole question that there is so much of premium being placed on Rajya Sabha membership, MLC seat, and in Maharashtra case, this was seen as some kind of a precursor to the assembly elections, as to whether Ajit Pawar can hold on to his crowd, whether whether Mahavikas Agadi can take away some MLAs from the ruling alliance. All these questions were there, but then that is why when the stakes are higher, even the attempt is made to get more people out of their parties to vote for the other side. Sir.
Next question, please. Shobit Singh, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. Is there a way to extend BJP seats currently to 282 plus? I think it should be 272 plus, because psychologically BJP cadre and supporters is now lowest. The 282 tally will be a boost.
Yeah, I think, well, I don't see any, the arithmetic such, this 18 Lok Sabha has thrown up, where you cannot have a government without the BJP, no matter what the opposition does. Now, whether BJP will be willing to get more people to on its side, that may not happen immediately. It would all depend on how BJP, does, performs in these elections that we just discussed, Maharashtra, Haryana, or Jharkhand, or all the three together. That is how they will decide, but then who are the new people who can come over? Because you have an important assembly elections in 2026, where states like Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, these are very important states going to polls. So I don't see anything happening before that, because all these parties which are in power there today, they depend on minority vote bank, and they dare not have plans, whether it is Mamata Banerjee or even DMK. Because DMK, there is already a thinking within the DMK now. Now we are committed to the Congress, but they feel helpless that they have no say in the central politics. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question, please. Mr. Bharani wants to know, we know that if BJP or PM office has a daily press meet and set the narrative, the opposition will be on the back foot. What is preventing it from doing that? Why is it justified by the BJP?
Well, Bharani sir, I think some correctives are in the offing, but I expect a turning point could be the coming budget, which will be presented on July 23rd. The budget can, pick up, rather give strength to the BJP if the budget is well tailored to meet the expectations of people across different sectors. Because that's why I say that this budget, which the Prime Minister has already built it as going to be a big bang budget, which is going to look at the next 10 years and open up new areas, because there is a lot of already hype building around this budget. If this government can deliver on the expectations of the budget, then one can see the mood lift off. And that will have a lot of bearing on states like Maharashtra, where there are several commercial activities going on. And also it will have spillover effects in Jharkhand as well as in Haryana. And Haryana is close to seat of power, that is Delhi. So this is going to be very important. So budget is one area Well, from the industry, I hear that they expect this budget to be more pro-poor than hitherto, because BJP has to win back those sections, particularly Dalits and uh, people. I mean, the OBCs, SC, ST, the category people, because that is where the BJP has suffered a lot in this election, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And what a session it was today. Wonderful stuff. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Also, one thing I forgot to tell, I should have said this thing. Look in the description section as well as at the pinned comment, the link to our WhatsApp channel, because we are having a few doubts whether the notifications are coming properly or not. So to get around this, all you need to do is to sign up on our channel, WhatsApp channel. Then you will get notified every time we have a new video. It's always your choice to whether you want to watch it or not. But such gems like the sessions with Shekhar Iyer, you get to know the true perspective. We have no friends, we have no enemies. We just want Bharat Mata to prosper. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.